Right, this really took place, in Tampa Bay, in Florida, in the United States, and of course, it really the MEA questioning basically that how is it that these comments are coming out while he's there in the United States. Our colleague Shiv also joining us. Shiv, take us through, of course, the MEA reacting to the comments made by Mr. Munir from American soil.
This is an absolute super slap that the External Affairs Ministry has just issued by way of a statement in response to what General Asim Munir has said while in the United States. This is perhaps one of the strongest statements, not only against Pakistan and Asim Munir, but in general the ecosystem that has wined and dined and basically facilitated and supported the kind of irresponsible terror-sponsoring nuclear nation that Pakistan is. Look at the words of choice in this particular statement. It's the third big statement to come out from the External Affairs Ministry in the last few days, slamming Pakistan and those who seek to actually support Pakistan. Let's not forget, this is Asim Munir's second trip to the United States since Operation Sindur, a country that was decisively vanquished by the Indian military, is still being hosted by the United States for its own reasons, but that is separate. The kind of irresponsible nuclear saber rattling, the very thoughtless way in which Asim Munir has flaunted Pakistan's nuclear weapons and sent out a nuclear threat has only amplified and accentuated how irresponsible, how dangerous, and how vulnerable Pakistan is to terrorists taking over their nuclear weapons. And that is precisely what the Indian Ministry of External Affairs has said in this statement. It has also expressed regret that these comments have, come from the soil of a friendly third country. They're obviously referring to the United States. And this is a very, very strong statement to make. It is one thing to actually, decry what Asim Munir has said. But let's not forget that Asim Munir belongs to Pakistan. Pakistan is considered very, very clearly by India as a sponsor of terror and an irresponsible nuclear nation. But for it to happen on on U.S. soil is an even bigger issue as far as India is concerned. Remember, India and the United States have a close strategic relationship, a close intelligence sharing and defense relationship as well. And therefore, for Asim Munir to have made these comments on U.S. soil and for no condemnation, no remarks, no response whatsoever from the United States, at least so far, to what Asim Munir has said, has made the United States look extremely bad, has made the United States under Trump look extremely irresponsible for tolerating this kind of irresponsible talk at a time when the two countries have just gone to war. But let's remember, it is the last line of this statement which is the real clincher, the real slap in my opinion, which is that Operation Sindur is proof that the kind of nuclear blackmail being indulged in by Asim Munir is frankly useless. It is this very nuclear umbrella that Asim Munir is now saying will destroy half the world if India were to attack it. The hilarious irony, of course, is that India not only attacked Pakistan in Operation Sindur, but completely called their nuclear bluff, fully paralyzed their air defense systems, and dragged them practically begging and pleading to the ceasefire table. Therefore, for Asim Munir to now cartoonishly flaunt and brandish and saber rattle his nuclear weapons is a bit of a strategic joke. But that's what Pakistan needs to do to sort of pacify its domestic audience. But India obviously is not taking any of these things lying down and has called it out rightly in this extremely clear and aggressive manner.
Shiv, of course, India is saying that we are not going to give in to nuclear blackmail. We'll continue to take all kind of necessary steps that are required in order to safeguard our national security. Shiv.
Even if you were to talk about the steps that India has already taken, Operation Sindur stands as a shining example, which even the Prime Minister has said on multiple occasions, of how Pakistan's nuclear blackmail, precisely the kind of blackmail that Asim Munir ironically has currently indulged in, that blackmail lies in pieces. It is an incredible irony and an incredible joke that Asim Munir feels the need to talk about nuclear weapons 2.5 months after his country, was completely crippled as a result of the Indian military's actions in Operation Sindur. There was no question of any nuclear action from them because they did not have a choice. Their entire command and control infrastructure was paralyzed as a result of Indian missiles hitting their radar installations. Their entire military infrastructure was completely isolated and crippled as a result of military action in Operation Sindur. Therefore, from where does Asim Munir have the nerve 2.5 months later to talk about if India were to attack, then there will be nuclear consequences? It is ridiculous. It is juvenile. It shows you how insecure a country like Pakistan is when it comes to nuclear weapons. It also betrays a kind of cartoonish dangerousness of whose hands these nuclear weapons are in. If a person has nuclear weapons, you definitely don't go abroad and shout about them and threaten with them. The entire point of nuclear weapons is they are a quiet deterrence. When you have nuclear weapons, nobody messes with you. When you have nuclear weapons, the entire point is never having to threaten to use them. When you have nuclear weapons, the whole point is that you never need to announce their existence or announce what their consequences will actually be.